Hey everyone, Joe here. Well, today I'm back with another gear review, and what we have today is the Behringer Q502USB. This is the XENYX little small form factor mixer, and I really do like this mixer, and so much I actually want to do a review on it. Now, Behringer did not give this to me. Behringer did not pay me to do this video. I actually bought this to power the new microphone and stuff that you see used in front of me, the SC Electronics V7 Super Dynamic microphone, which you can find a review for up in the cards. I just recently did it, so you can find it on my channel as well. Now, I had originally been using a Scarlett 2i2, and, well, Scarlett 2i2, I have a first gen one, it just really wasn't cutting it. So I decided to get this mixer and use it, and I've been highly impressed. So let's get in here and talk about this mixer. But before we start doing that, check out this awesome product from Ashampoo. Ashampoo Burning Studio 21 is a versatile software to burn CDs, DVDs, and Blu-ray discs. Easily create movie discs with animated menus, slideshows, and audio discs. The built-in cover designer produces covers and inlays for all disc types. Burning Studio 21 features an exciting new carousel navigation menu system. Enjoy the deprogrammed menu navigation with the ability to select your favorite modules for instant access. Plus new tailor-made profiles for car radios, CD changers, and mobile storage media. Learn more and download your free trial by clicking the link in the description below. Okay everyone, let's first start by going over the features of this mixer. Here on channel 1 we have our XLR, or we can choose a balanced or unbalanced 1/4 inch jack input. This jack here has 15 volts phantom power. I will get to that later in the video. We then have its gain. We have our British style EQ, which sounds really nice. I have this one set a little bit, and this one set a little bit above normal. And it's at the high end at 12,000 kilohertz, and the low end at 80 hertz. Really nice sounding. I really did like it. Then we have our pan here, our stereo pan. So we can turn it to the left, or we can turn it over to the right here. Okay, that works pretty decent. Then, of course, we have our levels, which is our volume control for channel 1 here. As we can see, if I start turning it up, it can get quite loud, and I don't want to actually go too high with it because it will mess up my audio editing in post. Okay, then right next to it, we have channels 2 and 3. Now, this is a stereo pair that both go to this channel right here. And we can see I got the volume turned down. Have nothing going to that channel just yet. And we also have a pan, stereo pan to left to right on that channel as well. Okay, down here on channels 4 and 5, as you can see, I have these 2 1/4 inch jacks coming in. Now these are actually coming in from my computer, and I have audio being played at the moment. So if I start turning this up, you can hear the audio. And of course, left or right to left also. Okay. So that sounds pretty nice. Getting that music coming in. Really good if you're doing any kind of like podcasting or any kind of gaming or streaming. Okay. Then we have, it says right here, Comp 1. Now this is the compressor. It is for channel 1. It does not affect any of the other channels. It is just for channel 1 here. And this is the compression ratio that I'm currently using, which does sound really good. Now, this is Behringer's one knob compressor, and I have to say, for a single knob, it actually works really well. Matter of fact, it actually sounds really natural, even cranked all the way up to 10. Though, do keep in mind when you do crank up any kind of compressor, you will introduce more background noise. Okay, below that, we have our phantom power button. Since I am running the SC Electronics V7 Super Dynamic microphone, I do not need phantom power turned on. Now, it is there in case you need any for it. Like I said, this only has 15 volts. However, that should be plenty to provide phantom power to a vast majority of your microphones, even if they say they need 48 volts phantom power. For example, at the AT2020 will work really just fine with that phantom power. Not a problem. Do wish it would have been at least 24 volts, but that is a drawback to this little small mixer. Do keep in mind the price point here is pretty low in this mixer. Next we have our phones, and that actually goes to my headphones here. I keep it turned down while I don't want any feedback at the moment. And between the phantom power and the phones, we have USB 2 and our 2-track mix. Okay, now I want to talk about this. Now, not only do you have additional input right here, which goes to this, any kind of USB audio you haven't sent to the mixer also goes with this, and this is how it's mixed. Okay, on this mix here, if you have two main mix pressed down and 2 phones up, you will hear the audio coming in from the USB or the RCA connectors right here, the inputs, and they will be heard by whoever's listening in on the broadcast. In addition, all 3 channels here, well actually all 5 channels here, will also be coming in, and you will be able to monitor them as well. So if you wanted to, say, plug this up to a cell phone and call somebody and have it plugged into these 2 jacks, you can then do like a broadcast where you're talking on the cell phone and your viewers are also listening into the cell phone conversation. Really helpful. Now, if you want to only hear what's coming in, you press 2 main mix. That will mute as soon as you press that in, and it releases it to come back up. You will no longer hear what's coming in through USB or the RCAs right here. To hear, you press 2 phones. Now you will hear what's coming into there. You will hear what's coming into the USB. However, you will not hear any of the audio from these channels right here. They are still, however, being transmitted to the main mix. Just wanted to point that out. And of course, if you press up, you no longer hear the USB audio or the RCA input audio here, but you will still hear the main mix and everything here. Just USB and your 2 inputs here will not. Okay. Then right here, like I said, we have our 2 RCAs as inputs for your left and right, and we have outputs for here for the left and the right. So if you want to record using like one of these cables here, to is, for example, like a Zoom HN Handycam recorder, or handy recorder, you can and actually record directly into it. So that works pretty well as well. Also, we have our main mix volume here for it controls everything, and up above that we have our little dial indicator here. As you can see, mine's hitting 20 and occasionally peaking to 0, which is where I have it set. And at plus 6 dBs, it will show a yellow light in case you might be getting close to clipping, and red letting you know it did clip. And above that, we have our phantom power button to let you know when the phantom power is turned on. And of course, the red light next to it is just a traditional power. Okay, now let's talk about the housing here. Now, the housing is all metal on the top, really nice. Plastic on the side, but for this size of a mixer, you really can't complain. It's actually built really nice. On the back, you have your power inputs and your USB. And on the top here, we have our headphones out, which you can see I have my AKG headphones plugged into. And also, right next to it, we have our mains out, 1/4-inch balanced outputs. So if you want to run those to any kind of like other mixer or speakers, you really have that option. They work really nice. Now, I want to point out again about this headphone here. The amp in this thing is really, really good. So if you're looking for a headphone amplifier, I've got to tell you, this thing knocks it out of the park. My headphones here are not the most demanding, but they are 120 ohm, which requires more than most of your iPhones or built-in sound cards can provide. And this jack provides more more power to run my headphones than an example like my Focusrite 202 doesn't come close. And in addition, my FX Audio DAC X6 headphone amplifier doesn't even come close to how much power this thing pumps out. It really has enough to power, say, 150 ohm pair of cans without any issue. It's really, really good, and I really do like it. Okay, everyone, like most products, a lot of products have their pros and cons, things that are great about them, things that are not so great about them. Now, like I mentioned, this USB mixer here has only 15 volts phantom power. Now, while that is plenty to run most microphones, for example, like the AT2020, it kind of specifies like a minimum of 20, but you can get away with the 15. It's not a big deal. Now, why Behringer didn't decide to at least make it 24 volts, I'll never understand what the meaning of 15 volts was. Like I said, they should have did at least 24, because most microphones, even if you have like condenser microphones that require phantom power, they are going to need, they recommend for the most part 48. You can get away with less. There's a debate how much dynamic, and range and stuff you'll lose on the microphone, or how much it might change the sound. But most of them will run less. Now, I'm running the SCV7 here, which is a dynamic microphone, does not require any phantom power. Now, I got this mixer because the Scarlett 2i2 I had to turn the gain on it all the way up to 90% just to power this microphone. And that was introducing a lot of noise just from the lower quality preamps of the first generation Scarlett 2i2, which their preamps are fine to about like 60%. Anything above that, they start getting noisy. Now, not only do I have more gain on this mixer here, I'm only running it at the 2 o'clock position, and it's more than enough gain to run this microphone. Matter of fact, it runs it really, really well. And so, yeah. As far as the noise and stuff from these preamps, they're exceptionally low. I wasn't expecting XENYX preamps to be this good, and especially at this price point, but they really, really are. I'm kind of wishing I had bought this mixer in the past instead of getting my 2i2, to be quite honest with you, because not only do you get its cost like half the price, it actually has a compressor and EQ, something like a 2i2, for example, doesn't have. So one reason I'm kind of really recommending these for podcasters, streamers, and people getting into YouTubing stuff. This could be a really great option. Now, let's talk about another con to it. Now, it's not a really personal con to me, as I don't have a problem with it, and that's the USB interface. The USB interface is only 16-bit. So now a lot of people think that's a big issue, and I agree. There are limitations to 16-bit. But for 99% of the people in the population out there, I don't think most people will ever notice. And I think the people that kind of marketing this mixer to will never notice. Nor will the viewers and stuff, like for example, like if you use this for streaming, YouTube creation, small or band gigs or whatever, home with a small home recordings, you're never going to have a problem. And I don't think the 24-bit may be, it would have been nice, but I don't think it's really required for this. Now, while Behringer didn't just make it 24-bit, since that's pretty much the standard now, I'll never know, because it doesn't really cost you much more, just probably 25 cents more for the 24-bit chip. And they would have sold a lot more of these just due to marketing. Because a lot of times people buy stuff because of the marketing specifications. Like a lot of them have 24-bit, 192 kilohertz, but only like 2 mic inputs and stuff. And people will think, I need that to make YouTube videos. No, you really don't. For the most part, the 16-bit's going to be perfectly fine on this. I've did testing. Honestly, it sounds wonderful. I don't have a problem with it. So that's why I'm actually using it now instead of my 2i2, which was 24-bit, 96 kilohertz. And this only being 16-bit, 48 kilohertz, fine, not a problem. So if you're doing any kind of streaming, podcasting and stuff, whereas most of the audio you're going out is pretty close to finished product anyway, you're not going to have a problem. So, but if the people who may not want this, or people running like a big recording studio, then they probably wouldn't be buying a mixer of this caliber to start with. So not a problem. So anyway, that said, that was the 2 cons to it, even though they're situational. Like I said, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a wonderful mixer for the price, and I'm really happy to actually wish I would have got this years ago, to be quite honest with you. Now, I did mention the headphone out, which is running like my AKGs, my K612 Pros, it will blow the speakers in those things if you're not careful. The preamp, not preamp, but the mic amp in this thing is wonderful. Really, really good. And I'm really shocked how much power this actually has, because I hadn't bought like a, FX Audio's DAC X6 headphone amp. It would barely push these K612 headphones of mine. My Scarlett 202 was much better than the headphone amp. But this joker right here, wow. Okay, it can push these things up really higher than I can stand listening to them without any like major distortion or anything. So, or any distortion that I can notice. So yeah, it kicks butt pretty good, decent here. So anyway, do I recommend this product? Absolutely, 200% yes. For the price, if you get any kind of like any podcasting, streaming, and you need a low budget in mixer and stuff, this is the mixer to get. Just forget getting a Scarlett 202 or anything like that. Get one of these right here. You're going to be more than happy. The compressor is really going to help your audio out a lot more, because this compressor works really well. To only be in one knob, I'm kind of shocked that it works as well as it does. I think the ratio is still pretty low on that compressor. But for somebody who's starting out, who doesn't know anything about audio, doesn't know how to set anything up, just having one knob, knowing you can go from low to high, is the easiest way to go. As you can see, what I'm running right here at the moment, and I'm not adding any compression in post. That is what I'm using. Only thing I ever add into post these days are a limiter. And that's just to kind of help my breathing stuff, because I'm a heavy breather, I guess. It picks up on the mic. But other than that, yeah, wonderful. Happy with it. So, do I recommend it? Like I said, 200% yes. Now, I am going to do some other videos and stuff on this later on here in a few weeks, as I get some more cables and stuff in. Currently, like I mentioned earlier, I do have my computer music run into this. And then that's run out of like the headphone port on my monitor and stuff. And I'm actually going to show you how you can set this up to be used like with Discord and mix your audio, mix your game music, or not game sound, and all that stuff through this mixer and have it put out back to OBS. So if you're interested in that, you want to find out more about this mixer and how to get really set up and really get around taking full advantage of everything it's got, do check back, because like I said, this video's going to come out in a few weeks. Well, in a few weeks, if you're watching this at the time the video is released. If you're watching it a few weeks later, the video's probably already out. But yeah, I'm going to do some more talking about it and show you ways you can set up and get to use everything. So anyway, that's it for this review. Do I recommend it? Like I said, for the third time in a row here, 200% yes. This is what I recommend to people these days. So anyway, that's it for this review. That's it for this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up's always highly appreciated. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, please take time to subscribe. Subscribing is free. It's for you. It lets you know when I release more videos. Until next time, everyone, thank you for watching.